Making the link now on GBN television. It's always good to have you with us. Those of you joining us on our YouTube platform, welcome to the mid-morning buzz. It is Tuesday, and joining us this morning is Sergeant 115 Francisca Noel. She's attached to the IT division of the Royal Grenada Police Force. As you know, the world is celebrating cyber awareness, I believe it is. And we want to welcome Sergeant with us this morning. Good morning and welcome to the buzz.
Good morning, and thank you for having us this morning. Thank you very much. Good morning, Grenada. Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're listening and viewing from.
Okay.
Saying good morning on behalf of the Grenada Police Force.
We're actually not on Facebook today. Facebook giving us some challenges, but we're on YouTube and we're on TV and we're on Classic Radio and we're on our website. We're streaming live, folks. If you want to see the sergeant, a beautiful lady, log on www.classicgbn.gd, and look for the Classic Grenada link, and you can follow us. You can also view us on GBN television. So Cyber Awareness Month, the RGPF, I know you're using technology more and more in the fight against crime. So just give us a brief overview as what has been happening for the RGPF.
Okay, obviously the RGPF is thinking forward, we're thinking modern, and of course, most of the times you'll hear our commissioners speak of using technology, and we have been, as a matter of fact, using technology up until recent. We would have had, during the lockdown period, we would have had technology working for us in terms of detecting crimes, because generally policing for us is to detect, deter, most times to prevent. And we utilize a lot of manpower to do that, whether it's patrol or, information gathering and so forth. But technology plays a big role because most persons today use technology. And as a matter of fact, yesterday I was tuned into your program and just cool, Mr.
Checkley.
Right,
Yeah.
Checkley was talking about how he has been enabling persons to really have this togetherness and to be able to have more or less be there for each other, be there with each other, using technology when we are supposed to be on a lockdown, when we are supposed to be separated from each other. And so because we are using more of technology, what we're having is that crimes have not changed, but crimes has been enabled by technology, and now it's more like technology is fueling a lot of crimes, and we see a lot of new crimes emerging. So it is, for us, it is a step forward that we're able to become abreast of what is happening around us, and to be able to mitigate some of the factors, some of more or less the challenges that persons will be faced with in terms of staying safe. Mm-hmm. And especially for this month, October, we're all about how you can be safe, how you can, save yourself from a major breach or losing your identity and so forth. And if you pay attention to our Facebook page, you will see messages there daily, tips and so on, that from our partners, and so that would help persons to know how they can protect themselves. And of course, we as the RGPF are always listening to persons' concerns so that we can address them.
Okay, wonderful. Would you say that our laws are being continually updated to deal with some of the cyber crimes that we're seeing? So, and I'm sure you'd go through some of them for us in a bit. But do you have enough support and protection in the law as it is now to deal with the amount of cyber crimes you see?
Unfortunately, I would say no, because we have the Electronic Crimes Act. Most persons are still not aware of what is in it or what is contained in it, but it is still limited in terms of, let's say, for instance, the normal or the average citizen would be bombarded with threats. They would be bombarded with malalignment, persons malaligning their character and so forth. And that isn't addressed within the legislation. But for businesses, definitely businesses are covered under the legislation. And of course, the one that, well, maybe later I'll get into it, but the privacy issue, violation of privacy is one of the areas that has been getting a lot of attention, and fortunately it is in there, and persons are being safeguarded, even when they themselves made a mistake of, posting their images or sharing their images with persons whom they trust. Yeah.
I was very happy recently to see that you were able to successfully prosecute a case, and a gentleman was fined $50,000 for posting some photos of a female, I think it was. I don't know if there was a relationship before, but a $50,000 fine. My only peeve with that is that the funds didn't go to the victim.
Right. I'm not sure if there going to be some redress in that matter, or whether the legislations are going to be written so that the victims more or less would feel more like they have been justified after these matters are tried. It is, something that can be discussed. But of course, the penalties under the Electronic Crimes Act, you will realize, are much stiffer, because
they
are very serious. You don't want to think, okay, you can do whatever you want. And a lot of times people think, okay, I'm anonymous when I'm doing these things online. And, person's character, person's identity is being affected, and it stays with you. I always tell persons whenever I address, whether it's kids or adults, whatever you post online, it stays there. And it may show up in the least of time you're expecting it to show up. It is always there. It doesn't go away. And everybody, most persons has access to it. Millions of persons have access to it.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us about the nature of some of the crimes you've been seeing that the unit has been dealing with as it relates to Grenada.
Right. So we have CID primarily, and the Financial Investigations Unit that would be the recipients of reports or so forth. And crimes we're seeing: theft, fraud, slander, invasion of privacy, and so forth. These crimes have not changed much, but what has happened is that, as I said, technology has enabled them to become more complex, right? We have the crimes occurring across borders, of course, because when someone hacks into a business account, where we have business email compromises, where corporate entities are targeted and funds are transferred to accounts which you do not know which bank they reside in or which entity they're actually going to. These are cross-border crimes. These are very technical in nature. These are, it calls for a lot of expertise and collaboration, of course, with external entities and agencies that works with law enforcement. We have identity theft, for instance, that has occurred, where persons would use someone else's information and be able to set up accounts or to be able to transact business, purporting to be that person. Okay, so this is the nature, more or less, of what we're seeing. The scams and so forth, of course, we know that it is very much rampant, whether it's through SMS, through emails, and especially during the lockdown time, we have seen a lot of scams, because what is happening, more persons are doing business online, more persons are having online activities, whether it's school or work. More persons are relying on virtual information. They are relying on emails. They are relying on platforms to send them updates. And so persons have taken the opportunity to take advantage of that. Persons who need information and who would actually work on any information they get to scam persons into, giving up information or even transferring funds. A lot of that has been happening, not just in our borders, but I have spoken to colleagues regionally who have identified, their local jurisdiction as well, having to deal with this sort of scams. So this is more or less the nature of what we're dealing with. So it's not a shift to say in crime not occurring, but crimes are occurring now, being driven by technology.
Would you say it's new criminals we're seeing, or the old criminals adapting to technology?
In some instances, we have the old criminals adapting to technology, and we have new areas of crime emerging. We have, of course, the younger or the Generation Zs now are branching on, especially where it comes to infiltration of networks, intrusions, and so forth. We have these happening. So, in Grenada, our local the youth populations find themselves in a lot of trouble most times with the identity theft and the defacement and so forth, or even spreading propaganda or, defacing persons' profile online and so forth. This occurs among the youth.
They think it's okay to just go online and blast and, as they call it, throw shade, but it's not. It's not. It comes with a consequence.
Yes, of course.
I find it interesting though, because we're in an era when we have businesses, especially financial institutions, encouraging you to, take up online banking. They actually charge you for face-to-face transactions, and they're encouraging it. What sort of protection can people get, and to know that I'm transacting safely? How can we be safe online?
Right. The onus actually starts with the institutions. And when you're asking persons to share the information online, you must have that safeguard in place to know that your business may be vulnerable to being hacked. You have to have that mechanism in place to protect persons' data to start with. Then you need to educate your customers on what you're going to ask for, what you're going to look for, what is expected of them when they're transacting business, and of course, how they can safely transact their business. On a normal basis, especially for banking, you would not access your banking app or your banking platform, your web page, where you have to send your account information, that is your account number, your password, and so forth. You would not want to access that on a public network or open hotspot, as we would call them. Let's say you're at the Esplanade Mall and you want to transfer some funds. You would think it's okay to, log into the whatever hotspot that is there at the time and access your account. No, that is not safe, because you're not sure who else is accessing that network and what person's activities may be doing. Also, the devices that are on that network may have malware that would be snooping and trying to collect credentials. Right? So for accessing your banking information, you want to ensure that it is over secure, private network. And of course, all the times, the bank has to ensure that they are using security on their end as well, so that they protect your credentials as it is being used to access your account. Use a private network, or you may want to use data on your device, so that you know that the communication is between you and the bank, and there's no man in the middle more or less sniffing and trying to collect the data that you're inputting to access your account. You always want to make sure that you keep your device clean, sanitize the device, as I would say, because we have a number of apps that we may download, games or even social media platforms that has access to our files, that has access to our keypad and so forth. And you want to ensure that those apps aren't capturing your information, that you want to make sure that your device is secure at all times. Antiviruses, you scan your device, ensure that you do not have any apps there that has privileges that is more than necessary, more or less. For instance, I would say a game. You want to ensure that the game has access to your keypad. Most times they ask for permissions to use your camera, they ask for permissions to use your microphone, your contact list, and all these, if you assess them, really, are they necessary for the normal or efficient functioning of that app? No. You would want to turn those permissions off as well, right? So it is some very simple steps we can take. And of course, the big one, which sometimes persons always avoid, password. Password protect your device, because we are doing so much on our mobile devices. Actually, data shows from Global Stats, it shows that we use mobile, 96% of our access to online platforms is via a mobile device.
Wow.
Your tablets, your mobile phones, not so much the desktop, but the mobile devices that we carry around with us all the time. And I would say generally all the time, as you wake in the morning, you're touching your mobile device.
You check for news, you like to see what's, yes, guilty.
Right, it's like we're addicted to it, right? So we have a lot of information on those devices, and therefore you have to protect it. You never know what prying eyes or hands that may fall on it.
You know, and you made a point earlier about the permissions on apps. Some apps, they don't allow you to install them if you don't give them certain permissions. And I'm like, but I find it so invasive. Why do you need to see all these things, as you say, to play a simple game?
Right.
Should we just bypass those altogether? Because sometimes it depends on the app you may want to give in because you want to have access to it. But if you find it's too invasive, maybe it's not so safe.
Exactly. Yeah. And sometimes you use it, you'll say, oh, I just want to use it this one time. Mm-hmm. And then you never go back and install the app. You never go back and remove, the files that they probably would have placed in your device. Because the average person, all they want to do is have the app, use the app, and they not consider what's happening in the background. So it's very important and that is why the app stores, they have this verification on apps, although some of them do, slip through the crack. Mm-hmm. And during updates, which we don't pay much attention to a lot of the times, on the initial installation, it would add permissions, but during updates, it would probably add permissions that you're unaware of, because all you're doing is taking an update.
Right.
But it's very important after you update to check to see what permissions that would have been added or modified, so that you're still in control of your device and your device isn't sending data that you don't necessarily want it to send out.
Okay. Earlier you mentioned interagency cooperation. How successful would you say the RGPF has been in pursuing cyber crimes cross borders?
The few cases that we have had successes. We have Interpol is an agency, international policing, all right? They have the capabilities to be able to detect and to send information, filter information to member states that may be affected, whether it's through child pornography or skimming or hacking and so forth. And once we reach out to them, of course, we have to do that in a timely manner, because internet crimes or crimes related to online has a very short lifespan in terms of the damage that can be done. So we have to reach out to them, and we have been getting successes. Okay. Earlier this year, we have had to reach out to Facebook, who were able to help us in solving one incident. And these agencies they're willing to cooperate with law enforcement, and more or less the legislation, sometimes it would be a hindrance for us, because our legislations are not as updated as, let's say, for instance, the US, where a lot of privacy issues are concerned. And therefore, based on what we're doing, sometimes they may not accede to our requests, as well as sometimes we may be able to, get successes once we request in a timely manner.
Okay. Do you have any stats you can share with us as to the progress made so far?
What we have during and it's over a period of time. Actually, we've had more than 100 scams detected. Yes, and we've had over 10 cases of violations of privacy prosecuted. We do have reports of online threats and so forth coming in. However, as I alluded to earlier, the legislations are not very much in sync, and therefore we cannot, move forward with a lot of them. So, yes, persons, victims are not being given the satisfaction really that they should be given. In terms of emails and so on, we have had 2 of those, and one business would have suffered a loss of over $100,000 because of fraud.
Were they able to recover that one?
No.
Ooh, that's a hit. That's a hit. How can businesses protect themselves? Is there any insurance or something that would help a business against a loss like that?
Insurance most likely should be able to.
I'm thinking.
Yes, but one of the things that we always, through the FIU, would make sure that when you're doing transactions or when you're sending instructions, ensure that you reach out to the person physically, and that instruction is understood, and actually it is understood that it comes from the party that says it's sending the instructions, right? So that is what generally happens when you have hacking on an account and sending instructions to corporate persons, let's say between the manager and the general manager, finance manager, or somebody within that domain that has control over finances and would be able to make decision in terms of, transferring. Ensure that you physically have a conversation, whether it's over the phone or, verify that the information that you're getting is information that is authentic. Yeah.
Okay. In terms of the RGPF, would you say there is a shift in focus to incorporate cyber crimes into your daily operations even more now? Because as you mentioned, society has changed. It's a process, but it continues to change. We're seeing more and more the use of online platforms for learning, for business, as you highlighted earlier, for almost everything now. Is there a refocus of energies for the RGPF to battle cyber crimes?
Oh, yes, of course, definitely. And part of the focus is on training our officers and retraining our officers in terms of handling or being able to deal with online incidences and, of course, handling digital evidence. We have been teaching our personnel how to handle once an incident is reported and there is a slight possibility that digital evidence is involved. There are certain protocols that needs to be followed, of course, with the backing of the laws, of course, because some persons feel whatever they see on NCIS. So that is a normal practice. It is not a normal practice. There are a lot of misconceptions, but as a force, we have been doing a lot of training and receiving training in terms of being able to deal with cyber-related incidences.
Okay. How big is your cybercrime unit now?
Our cybercrime unit staff, 3 persons.
3? Listen! Okay, so we need to put some energies in the cybercrime unit.
Would you? Yes, of course.
Yes, I mean, if we're talking about online services is the way to go, we need a bigger unit because, as you mentioned, part of the RGPF's responsibility is detection. I know you mentioned actually dealing once the crime has already happened, but you want to detect and deter. So can you monitor?
Yeah, but it's difficult to deter. It is difficult to deter with online crimes.
Can you do online monitoring?
I wouldn't speak in extent to that, but we have been able to get minimal.
Okay. Okay, interesting. Is there any focus for the unit for the month, as it is Cyber Month awareness, to have any projects or educational initiatives with schools? I know, as we say, all of them are online now. Any focus in those areas?
We have been only doing the Facebook posts and so forth. We have not been having any visits. And nothing is planned really for that focus. So all we're going to be relying on is meeting our online audiences.
Okay, well, I mean, we ain't doing face-to-face much. Look at where we're talking. You could zoom into the schools. Yes. Yeah, but yeah, as you say, our world is changing, and I'm happy that the RGPF is focusing on online security, and I think it's a time for us to beef up the laws in those areas, because most people spend probably at least 80% of their days online, and you want to make sure that you're safe. Yes. And if your privacy or so is violated or breached in any way, that there is some security for you. Before we wrap, anything you want to leave us with?
I just want to say that urge persons more or less to be mindful of what you're going to be engaging in once you're online, for persons to be safe as well, not only for yourselves, but for your family, for your businesses, and to encourage businesses, of course, to more or less help the employees to know the dangers that they may be facing when they're, for one, working not offline, but working from home. You know, confidentiality is very important. You know, the information that we have on customers, it is critical, so that they should know how to safeguard that, right? Securing the devices that they use, the networks that they may be using, and so forth. For persons, the general public, encourage us to, you know, be on the lookout for scams. Ensure that before you take an action, you seek an opinion. We have the FIU that is, you know, always, of course, in the media as well, you know, talking to persons. Make a call, find out, you know, what is happening, what is this all about, or share it with someone maybe who would know about what's happening in the IT arena, so that we don't have persons becoming victims of losses of, you know, other monies and so forth, or, you know, being victimized in terms of, you know, their privacy and so forth. Yeah. You know. And of course, we will continue as a force to do our part and to be able to be there to deal with incidences as they occur. As our mission or vision statement says, that we are going to be adopting modern policing. And of course, even though sometimes, you know, it's a little bit strenuous for us in terms of resources, but we will use the skills and equipment that we have available to do the best we can in terms of fighting crime in Grenada.
Wonderful. We like the assurance. Before you leave, I've been noticing quite a lot of those posts on social media, Facebook to be precise. Earn $500 a day from the comfort of your home. You know, just call or text this number. Are you getting any reports in relation to those?
Yes, there were many reports through the FIU of this, what is termed as pyramid scams. You set up a business today, you look for persons who are willing, or it's very lucrative. If you're gonna earn $5,000 only after putting in 500, and it's not gonna last very long. Let's say it's gonna last a week or so. Right. And after that, you know, the losses are on other persons who would have, you know, joined in wholeheartedly. So we have had a few of those, and persons, no victims really yet. I know that persons in Trinidad, there were a couple of victims of that, you know, pyramid scam, not for Grenada.
Okay, but keep doing the great works, and we'll touch base again soon. Of course. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, folks.
Thank you so much for having me.
Our special guest, our first guest for the day, Sergeant Francisca Noel. She's attached to the IT division of the Royal Grenada Police Force. Any cyber crimes, any bullying, we need to stop it, and you can call the unit and they can pursue your matter. We take a quick break on the buzz. It's 29 and a half gone past 11. But when we come back, we have more for you. Stay with us.
Stop the spread of germs that can make you and others sick. Cover your nose and mouth with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. If you don't have a tissue, use your elbow. Wash hands often, especially after coughing or sneezing into a tissue.
Feel good facts.
Help prevent cold and flu by washing your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. That's the time it takes to remove most germs. No soap and water? No worries when you've got alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
Feel good facts.
Avoid the most common causes of spreading the flu. Cover your coughs and sneezes with a tissue, dispose of it straight away, and either wash your hands or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
This is a plastic bag. From February 1st, these bags are not to be used when shopping for food. So here's what you should do. Refuse plastic. Instead, bring your own reusable shopping bags and say goodbye to plastic. Choose to refuse plastic. Walk with your reusable shopping bags and help protect pure Grenada from plastic pollution. A message from the Ministry of Climate Resilience.
EC Polymer Notes, our new money.
Here's how you can detect genuine EC polymer notes. Feel. Polymer notes feel smoother than the material from which paper notes are made. Also, the front of each note has raised bumps at the top left-hand corner. These bumps form shapes that are familiar to you. Look for the clear window at the front and back of each note. This window allows you to see through the notes. If you hold the notes up to the light, you'll see the value of the note in an area of plain colored print. Tilt. A holographic foil is on the $100, $50, and $20. The images move and their colors change when you tilt the notes. Remember, detecting genuine EC polymer notes is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Feel, look, and tilt.
EC Polymer Notes, cleaner, safer, stronger.
You know, one day I woke up and, you know, they painted a set of pedestrian crossing all along the streets. You know, nobody told us how to use that thing properly.
I know how.
You're serious?
Every safe, good driver knows about these things. As a driver, you have to be very attentive. You know you're coming up close to a pedestrian cross, you start slowing down immediately, looking to see if there's any pedestrian on the side getting ready to cross. If there is, you stop on the line that is a certain distance before the crosswalk. Then you would see the pedestrian put their hands out, looking directly at you, indicating that they are going to cross. And only when you have come to a complete stop, that is when they will quickly and safely cross to the other side. And then you continue happily on your journey.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact, wait for pedestrian to cross. Then you happily continue on your journey.
This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
can't wait to see my granddaughter.
Now joined by Miss Camellia Brown, the marketing officer at Real Value IGA Supermarket. Cami, good morning.
Good morning, Janelle. How is everything?
All is well on this end. How are you doing?
I'm good. You know, I got to work before all the rain started to pour, so I feel blessed.
Yes, yes.
I'm not out there in the wet and in the cold.
Yeah, and it floods so quickly, especially in your area.
Out there, yeah.
Yeah. Did you have any flooding along by you?
I'm not even sure because I have not left the building.
Well, that's what's up. You're safely on the inside.
I know, but you know, Grand Nance, we're in Grand Nance, so Grand Nance is usually prone to flooding.
Yeah.
But the rain has held up for a while, so I'm hoping that when I do go outside, it's not as soggy and not flooded.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure as yet, but I'll let you know.
Okay.
When I go outside.
I actually saw some flooding in my area this morning, and I'm thinking, I have so many happy guys around the place. Why are we not clearing up the drains? We waiting on somebody, the government, to clear our drains? Come on. We could do a little better than that, folks. But anyways, we've been talking about our bad behaviors this morning. What's good at Real Value?
Okay, so the product of the week this week is Essential Everyday Fragrance-Free Baby Wipes.
Okay.
Fragrance.
Fragrance free. Okay. Unscented. Okay.
Right, unscented, exactly. So the regular price is $7.65. This week we have a savings of $1. So if you have babies out there, and babies are expensive, very, very expensive, you know, maybe, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Take special offers on. Janelle, you're okay there?
I'm okay. I'm doing well, Cams. Yes. You were talking about baby, and one was just trying to call me here as if baby mommy's on TV. She's probably looking at me at home. She gets excited and she's trying to call. But yeah.
No worry, been there. I totally understand. I get it. Yeah, right. So so the regular price for the Essential Everyday Fragrance-Free Baby Wipes is $7.65, and a special offer we have it at $6.65, which gives you a savings of $1. And the baby aisle is in aisle 4. So as your household products such as shampoos, your Pampers, you know, your toothbrush, toothpaste, all those things can be found in aisle 4. And that is where our products of the week for this week is located as well.
Aisle, okay.
Right? Formula, baby food, all those things are together, same aisle. So if you have a newborn or if you have bigger babies, there's the aisle that you can find your items at. Okay?
Okay. Wonderful.
Currently, so we do have the special offer still open on our Sadia chicken wings. Remember, we have wholesale prices on the chicken breast, which is 6 packets of 2 kg chicken breast for $100.32. We also have them on the whole chicken legs, which is a 33-pound box, and that box is $109.62. So these things are available in our center aisle freezer, so which is right in the middle of the supermarket with all our meats, and you have your ice cream there, you have your frozen vegetables, you have your fries. All those things are located in that freezer as well. Not close to each other, mind you.
Right.
But yes, but you know, in that area. So those are locations for those items, and you can find it right there. And you could always ask for assistance because we do have staff on the floor who can help you. And once you ask a question, then you'll get an answer as well. So we are there to help you too. So please ask us and we will help you as much as possible.
Okay.
Currently, we do have a buy one, get one free on our Fed-On 3-year-old rum. I know, remember, we have a holiday coming up, you know. Over the 25th.
And then the good thing is on Monday.
Huh?
I say, and the best part is on Monday.
It is? I thought it was on a Sunday.
Well, we take the Monday. So, I mean, I only count the day we're getting. So it falls on a Sunday, so we get the Monday. Yes.
Oh, really? So they said that?
They don't have to. That's how it works. You waiting for something to be said? Listen.
Well, I'm just thinking about Carnival, you know.
No, that's different. Carnival, there was a cancellation, and we forfeited those holidays this year. But once a holiday falls on a Sunday, you get it back. Take it from me, Cammy. Right. Take it from me. No
I'm
work
taking it from
on the 26th.
Me on national TV.
On national TV. Yeah. The Monday it's a holiday. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So, right. So, and you know how we like to go on the beach, or we like to go on road trips. We like to go visit the waterfall and everything like that. So, therefore, if you get a buy one, get one free on a bottle of rum, you know, even for those who don't drink rum, you could also we have vodka in the store. We have gin. We have beers. We have a wide variety of different alcohol. And if you're non-alcoholic, we also have non-alcoholic wine for you. But right now, our buy one, get one free is on the Fed-On 3-year-old rum.
Okay.
And the Fed-On 3-year-old is a white rum. So if you can drink white rum, I suggest that you go to buy the Fed-On 3-year-old, right? And that is also located in our aisle 9. Aisle 9 is where you can find liquor and also snacks. Because of course, if you're going online for the holiday, you need your snacks too.
You set it up. Cammy, your boy Joe was in this morning, and I promised him I'd ask for him. He wanted to know if you put out the ham yet. I promised to ask, so I have to ask. You started putting out the ham yet?
You know, it's funny because Joseph spoke to me yesterday.
He did.
Right? He did, but he did not mention it, and he told you to mention it on national TV.
No, he said, you know, you always have ham, and you normally put them out early, find out what's going on with his ham.
Okay, we've had ham out for a while, actually.
Okay.
Yes, so you can find, you can find the hams right now close to where our meat section is at the supermarket, the fresh meat section of the supermarket. And if you don't see any out, you could also ask one of our staff, and they will bring a few out for you.
Oh, nice.
Because we all know it's ham season.
Yeah, it's coming up.
But Joseph might be talking about the frozen ham as well.
Yes.
So the frozen ham is also, you can find it in our center aisle freezer as well. So everything is very connected and is very close. The center aisle freezer is, as I said, right in the middle of the supermarket. And when you go to the top and you look to your left, you can see the fresh meat section of the supermarket, which is where your salted ham will be located as well. Okay.
He getting old. He was more looking at he said his body can't take the salt as before.
I do understand.
He was looking at the frozen.
I do understand.
Yeah.
So the frozen ham is located right in the center aisle freezer.
Okay, Joe, we working with you.
I'll be working with gas because, you know, it's Christmas time. That's what we're all about. Christmas is around the corner. So we're working towards having everything sorted and ready for Christmas as well. Okay.
Wonderful.
So we work. All right. So So back to the boat goal. The Fed-On 3-year-old rum, its retail value is $27.25. So you spend that $27.25 and you get 2 bottles of 750 ml rum, right? And as I said before, if you have rum, you must have snacks, right? And if you have snacks, then you must have chaser, right? Our chaser is also in aisle 10. So you have your snacks, you have your alcohol, whatever the alcohol is, and you have your chaser.
Right.
Right in the same vicinity. If you don't drink hard liquor and you want a little something soft, you can also find in aisle 9 non-alcoholic wine.
Okay.
And right next to that aisle is our fine wine section. So if you don't like strong wine, a rum, or strong alcohol, you have wine. Okay.
Right. Something for everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like the mix.
So all these things are located in one area. And I already tell you, if you need a barbecue meat or anything like that, we have the case prices. I know whole legs is good for barbecue as well. So you can barbecue that. in aisle 1, we have our condiments and stuff like that. So your ketchup, your barbecue sauce, your oil, your vinegar, all those things and stuff that you would need for your holiday. Well, not your holiday, your road trip sort of thing, because, you know, if we get Monday off, I know we're not staying home.
Listen,
Janelle, I assure you not staying home.
Listen, we haven't had a holiday since, must be what, Corpus Christi? Because we missed out on the August holidays. If we're getting one, hello, we had to make the best of it. We have to mark the occasion, and it's Thanksgiving. We have a lot to be thankful for. I mean, we've lost a lot of good people this year. We've made it successfully. I'm saying make it because we still have no cases through COVID. It's a loss to celebrate. And if we could buy one drink and get another one free, hello, we're inside.
We're inside. Okay, let me quickly go to our farmers. Again, this week we're asking for the following items. The list has pretty much stayed the same from last week, but let me tell you what's on it still.
Okay.
It's lettuce, the cabbage, beets, tanya, edos, dasheen, green bananas, bell peppers, tomatoes, local ginger, dry coconut, Christophine, grapefruit, lemon, lime, yam, sweet corn, broccoli flour, and cauliflower. And just to reiterate, if you don't have a farmer's ID, if you want to sell to the supermarket, you are required to have your farmer's ID. And if you don't have one, I always suggest to you, you could always call the Ministry of Agriculture, and an extension officer will come out to your land and will review it. And your card is very, very easy to get, and also it's very free, right? You don't have to pay for it. The last time I checked.
No, it is. It's free.
So it's available for you to do that. All you need is just everything you need is one phone call away when it comes to getting your farmer's ID. And of course, if you do have your farmer's ID, please call in and let us know what products you have, so we could set up a time for you to come in and meet one of our produce persons, right? So they could, you know, take a look and liaise with you and see what process it is and stuff like that. So please call first before you come into the supermarket with your items, okay? And the number to call is 439-2121.
Okay. Wonderful. Right? Is the list the same? Because maybe was it a quick turnover, or you didn't get these items last week?
We've been getting some of them, but like small quantities of. And of course, you know, with the supermarket and especially with local produce, they go quickly off the shelf, right? So for example, I know it's been my experience, because sometimes we too have to stock the shelves, that, you know, you put out like 20 packets of tomatoes. You turn your back and you're gone, and all 20 are gone. So sometimes that is the case, but sometimes it's not as well. I know right now, as you had mentioned last week, lettuce is very hard to come by these days.
Right.
And for example, like local ginger right now, I'm not sure if the rain has to do with it. You know, somebody will educate us. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but it's probably good for the farmers. And guys, I hope you're listening, because I know some of us all of us to grow the same things. And when, like, if it gets dry, as we saw before these last couple of weeks, you probably weren't planting lettuces, but you could have been doing different things. So call Real Value and probably work at our schedule, and maybe different people grow different things, you know, so we always have food items in stock. Call Real Value and organize and plant, because I know we grow lettuce, everybody grows tomatoes, and then they flood the markets and other things get kind of left, and we calling for them 2 weeks now, and it's coming in a bit slow. Guys, come on, let's work a little smarter on this one. Yeah. Okay, I mean,
you said it so eloquently. So.
Yeah, I know that's what we do. It's probably easier. Maybe it's easier to do lettuce and tomato. I don't know. Is it? I don't know. But yeah.
I'm not a farmer. We'll ask our farmers out there for a little bit more education on how it is that they go about planning and stuff like that.
Yeah, don't just juke a hole and drop in 2 seed. We do it.
Yeah, I'm a novice in this, so I'm not sure.
And yeah.
Guys, don't feel bad. Janelle just, you know, she know what she's talking about.
But hey, my dad was a farmer, And yeah, he was boss farmer, Kami, but he planned. I know he has his contacts with the supermarkets, and he didn't just plan, so he knew what was what the market wanted, so he planned to suit. I know some people just plan based on maybe what seeds they get, I don't know. But yeah, we probably need to plan a little better so we could fill the needs when they arise.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. Let me just remind customers that you can still do WhatsApp shopping, right? So the number to call for that is 404-2121 as well. I know it's a really, really rainy day, so if you had planned to go to the supermarket today and you find you have too much rain and stuff, so you can't go through all that, remember WhatsApp shopping is available for you. You get your own personal shopper to go do your shopping for you. All you need to do is just come down quickly and just pay for your goods and just go with it. So you don't spend as much time as you would like outside, especially on a day like this or any other time for that matter. So this is still available. It's a service still available at the supermarket for you. And we just ask for you to be as specific as possible when you're requesting goods. And we just ask you on each line to put your specific item so it doesn't get, overly populated, so we don't understand what it is exactly you're asking for. So clarity is essential for WhatsApp ordering. So if you're going to do the WhatsApp ordering, just remember that. And just to reiterate, the number is 404-2121.
Nice, yeah, and you get to know your brands too. Some people are very particular about their brands. You bring this brand, but yeah. So it's good to know. Yes. So Cams, anything you have 30 seconds to wrap you want to leave us with before we wrap?
We have a lot coming up. As I said before, Christmas is around the corner. So we're right now planning for Christmas. So, and usually with Real Value Supermarket, Christmas time is a time where we try to give out as much as possible. So look forward to that. Look forward to Christmas. Remember, Real Value is very convenient as well. Remember, we have wide aisle space. We have lots and lots of parking, and the supermarket is well lit as well.
Thanks, Cami. Folks, Camellia Brown, she's the marketing officer at Real Value IJ Supermarket. Thank you so much for coming and sharing with us. We always appreciate. Until next week, Tuesday, farmers, you heard Cami, 439-2121. If you have some of the items she's looking for, if you have other items you think you want to sell, call Real Value and make arrangements to get it sold. But we have to leave it here, folks. It is 7 minutes on to 12. We have to vacate the studio. The midday edition comes up next on K105. I'm Janelle saying have a fantastic Tuesday. It is still the rain has stopped for now, but it's still a bit cloudy on the outside. Still have your umbrellas handy, just in case. You never know. Bye for now. Take care of each other.